Hey YouTube, I want to start out this video, guys, by just actually kind of apologizing for not really making the best video here. I didn't shoot as much footage as I wanted to on the disassemble of the stock manifolds. I had some people come to the car lot, or to my shop when we were working, and it just kind of really held me back from actually getting the footage that I wanted to shoot for you guys on the disassemble. But the footage that I didn't shoot, I mean, it was really pretty straightforward. What I first did, I disconnected the battery, obviously. I pulled the wires off. I pulled the plugs out. You don't have to pull the plugs out, but I did anyways. We jacked the car up in the air. I disconnected where the solo catback and the stock cats meet up. I disconnected those bolts. Dropped the car back down, then I just kind of went up and I just slowly disconnected all the bolts on the stock manifolds. I kept one in there just so it would kind of hang. We lifted the car back up, and then I just fed the stock manifolds down to my friend that was underneath the vehicle. And that's really all the footage that I didn't shoot for you guys. The rest of the footage, that's going to be in the rest of the video here. That I did a little bit better explaining, but I just wanted to apologize, guys, about that. I like to try to shoot good footage for you guys and try to explain everything so there's no questions, but yeah, that's really all I wanted to tell you guys. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave some comments below. If there's something I didn't explain well enough, if you guys got any questions, I'd be happy to help anybody out that's installing headers on their G8 or their Chevy SS, because the installation, guys, is very similar from the G8 to the SS. You have to disconnect the steering shaft on the G8 and the SS, and you have to pull the oil dipstick out as well. So there's no difference really there at all. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video here. And then, like I said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave some comments below. I've got the headers tightened down here, as you can see. Here's another better shot at the steering shaft, and there's the bolt. Right there. That you're gonna have to. That's what you're gonna have to remove. And then that steering shaft is just kind of telescopic. It'll just kind of slide into itself there. But anyways, I got all the bolts tightened down on this side, and I'm just gonna go ahead and I did remove the spark plugs when I did this. I know some guys don't, and you don't have to do it, but I was just worried about when we were feeding the headers up that I were to hit one and bust one off or something. So I went ahead and removed all the plugs. So I'm just kind of going along here, and just going to be reinstalling the spark plugs on the driver's side here. One thing I had noticed on the driver's side here was this wire. I already have it zip tied, but this wire was, or this pack of wires here, was really close to the header here, to the point where it may have actually hit it, and I certainly didn't want that to happen. So what I did is I just took a zip tie and I just zip tied it to these other bundle of wires, and it pulled it away. I think hopefully enough to where it won't make contact with the header anymore. I also reused all the OEM gaskets and the bolts, as you can see here. Cook's obviously supplies you with everything you need. If you want to use it, great, but on the GXP headers, I reused all the OEM stuff, and even on my GHET before that I did too, and I never had any issues with them, so I'll knock on wood. But I'm gonna I went ahead and just reused all the OEM parts here. So everything under the hood here is pretty much done. This is all set. I'm gonna get the car back up in the air, and then we're gonna make our couple cuts, connect the connection pipes, which I've got laid out over here. Over there, I've got the O2 sensors already secured in them. And one thing too, guys, that I want to note to you, one of the O2 sensors, 3 of them came out super easy. They broke loose. I turned them out by hand. One of them was cross-threaded in there pretty good, and it took me quite a while to get it off. I think one of the ones that are on the header, but When I finally got it out of the stock manifold, the threads were pretty marred up, and I was worried that it may not go in, but I was able to thread it in there, and hoping it's going to be okay. It seems like it. I'm going to keep an eye on it, but that's just one other thing I wanted to note to you guys. So let's get the car back up in the air here, and we'll make those couple cuts. Okay, YouTube, I've got everything pretty much buttoned up here. You can see where I had to make the cut. Here's where the connection pipes are. Pretty simple. I mean, obviously, I just kind of held that pipe up. Here's the old piece that was. Let's see if I can hold this up here for you guys. Here was the old piece that was in there, and I pretty much just kind of measured it up and made the cut. It was kind of nice how Solo did it. They have it just obviously just kind of flared here a little bit, so it slides onto the pipe real nice. And then they just give you a clamp here just to clamp it on. You know, at first, I'll tell you, when I made my cuts and I got these two pieces on, it wasn't lining up very well, and I was getting a little bit worried, but just did a little adjusting with the pipes, and everything kind of came together real nice. So that's that. Couple things, guys, that I did just to kind of, you know, I was just worried about these headers touching. This right here was pretty close to the header, so I just took a zip tie. I'm sure you're not going to see this, but I put a zip tie in here just to kind of, and just zip tied it to the frame and just pulled it away from the header a little bit. You can see there's that driver side O2 sensor. There is one little clip here that kind of keeps it nice and tight to the transmission, which is nice. The passenger side O2, there's such little slack that I had. I mean, it's pretty much just straight up to the connector, so I don't really foresee that hitting anything that might be hot. So that's about it, guys. I think I'm gonna just kind of do a once over of everything, make sure everything's tight, and then we're gonna do a test fire here, see how she sounds. Alright guys, here's a startup inside the car. The car's been sitting for a couple hours now. You can see I already got a check engine light. I've driven the car maybe 20-30 miles roughly since the headers have been on, and the check engine light just came on probably, I don't know, maybe two days ago or something like that. So it didn't take long. After about 20 miles of driving and maybe 5-6 startups, the check engine light came on, which is to be expected when you don't have cats on there. But this is just kind of a startup here. Let you guys hear it, how it sounds after the engine's warmed up a little bit. Like I said, guys, this is kind of a warm idle here. As you can tell, it's pretty tame once it warms up a little bit. It's pretty quiet actually. Once you get on it though, it's a totally different story, and it's kind of what I love about this exhaust is it's real quiet when it's idling, but as soon as you get on it, it just opens up and it just sounds incredible. So I'll get you guys some some revs here now, probably to like 4,000 or something like that.